Good afternoon and welcome to today's Facebook Live demo by NetBees. Today we're talking about perfSONAR. So what is perfSONAR? perfSONAR is an open source toolkit that is used to run network performance tests across different network domains. As we call it, is primarily an active network monitoring solution like NetBees that run real tests and performance tests on the network. So this tool was originated in research and education institutions that need to exchange every day large amount of data, and where spotting performance degradation issues was very difficult because at the time, and this was 2001, hard failure, that is like when you have a fiber cut or a router goes down for some reason, those were pretty simple to detect with the traditional SNMP network monitoring solution, while soft failures like performance degradation issues such as packet loss or increase in latency and so on, anything that bottom line would impair or reduce download and upload throughput or speed were really difficult at the time to detect. And that's why they started developing and collaborating into the development of perfSONAR. So the four original institutions are listed here, like Internet 2, ESNet, Indiana University, and JAND. But since then, more institutions start working and collaborating on perfSONAR. So it's definitely a project worth taking into consideration. The architecture, perfSONAR is installed on an operating system, Linux, so it can run on Ubuntu, on Debian, Red Hat, and so on. And it's very interesting the way they develop the architecture of perfSONAR. You can see it's organized in layers, where at the bottom you see the tools layer. So here's where you find throughput tests such as iPerf3, iPerf, and NAT/TCP. And then you have latency and packet loss tests such as ping or OWAMP, which is a one-way delay measurement tool. And then they also have three types of traceroute tests, such as the traditional traceroute, tracepath, and Paris traceroute. So you can learn more about these tools by searching on Google. On the upper layer, there is the scheduling layer, and that's the pscheduler. And the pscheduler is responsible for scheduling tasks to be run periodically on the network. But also the pscheduler is also a wrapper to unify the execution and the way that the underlying tools are executed. So they kind of unify the command line options, bottom line. In the upper layer, you'll find the archiving ESMOD, which runs an hybrid type of database. The data, real-time data logged by the perfSONAR tests is saved as a raw on an R&D type of database, and then it's displayed in graphs in the upper layer, as you can see. And then there is also data such as configuration settings that is saved on an SQL type of database. So it's a really hybrid architecture. And the upper layer is also in the med dash. You can see in a grid format the tests that run between two endpoints or two perfSONAR nodes, and it's very similar to the NetBees grid view, if you're familiar with that. On the configuration side, mesh config is responsible for the configuration of the system, and then of course they are also like the GUI, the graphic user interface component. The last module we didn't talk about is the discovery. So the discovery or lookup service registration module is used to connect, or basically for two separate perfSONAR nodes to communicate and to run tests together. And they have different configuration types, three more specifically. So I think one is like standalone mode, then there is a nylon mode, and then a mesh mode. So again, there, if you want to read more about that, we wrote a blog post actually on netbees.net/blog, or you can just search for perfSONAR, and the perfSONAR website has plenty of documentation that you can review. So from an adoption since 2001, there are many deployments of perfSONAR. The public deployments, which are also listed in this website, whose URL you can see here at the bottom, there are more than 2,000 public servers, but for sure the number of private installation is much higher. So I encourage you to check out this tool. It's very useful. And thank you for taking the time to learn more about perfSONAR. Have a great weekend.